The soul, which is the source of all knowledge, is beyond the limits of time, space, and causation. Knowledge alone can destroy ignorance. How can it be destroyed by anything else? The world is illusory. Brahman alone is real. Brahman is the world. Brahman is the ultimate reality, ever pure, ever illumined, ever free, beyond the limits of time, space, and causation. The ultimate purpose of life is to realize the oneness of the individual soul with the universal soul. The self is not known through the study of the scriptures, nor through subtlety of the intellect, nor through much learning, but by him who longs for it, the self is revealed. The self is self-evident, beyond the veil of illusion. It is the witness of all experiences. As water on the lotus leaf does not adhere, so the soul does not adhere to the body. Desire for sense objects is bondage, but the same desire, when directed towards the Supreme, leads to liberation. The wise person is one who remains content with whatever is received without effort, like a river that flows without ceasing. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. He who has no attachments can really love others, for his love is pure and divine. Control the mind and purify the heart. Get rid of all desires and cravings. That is real austerity. Devotion to the Guru is the first step on the spiritual path. Even a lifetime is short for those engaged in self-realization. Knowledge of the self, like the sun, cannot be obstructed by anything. It is constant and all-pervading. The Atman self is beyond thought and speech. It is pure consciousness. The world appears to be real only as long as one is ignorant. When true knowledge dawns, the world will vanish. The knower of the truth is never disturbed by adversity, as the ocean is not disturbed by the rivers that flow into it. Just as the snake is not affected by the poison it carries, the wise person is not affected by the troubles of life. Give up all desires and live contentedly. That is the way to real happiness. The ultimate goal of life is to realize the oneness of the individual soul with the Supreme Reality. True knowledge is not gained through argument or reasoning, but through direct realization. The wise person sees the same reality in the beggar and the king, in the ant and the elephant. Do not be proud of wealth, people, or youth. Time can take away everything in a moment. Realize the self within and give up all desires. Be satisfied with what comes to you naturally. The world is like a dream. It appears real as long as one is asleep, but when one wakes up, it is seen to be unreal. Meditation is the journey from sound to silence, from movement to stillness, from a limited identity to unlimited space. The true Guru is one who can lead you from the visible to the invisible, from the material to the divine, from the ephemeral to the eternal. The mind is the root cause of bondage and liberation. It is the mind that makes one a slave or a free person. True knowledge is not bookish learning, but the realization of the truth within. The body is like a bubble on the surface of the ocean. It appears for a moment and then vanishes. He who sees the divine in everything and everything in the divine is a true knower of the self. The self is beyond birth and death. It is eternal and unchanging. Desire binds you to the world, renunciation frees you from it. In the light of true knowledge, the world is not different from Brahman. It is Brahman itself. The wise person does not become attached to the fruits of actions. He acts selflessly, without desire for the results. The mind is like a turbulent ocean. It can be calm only when all desires subside. The true seeker is one who seeks the self and not the objects of the senses. The path to liberation is not for the faint-hearted. It requires courage, determination, and a burning desire for freedom.